So we all know Disney hasn't had the best track record lately, and I think that even extends to their DVDs. I especially noticed them starting to do, especially like around 2015, 2016. I think it was around that time. I'm not sure exactly when they started doing this, but that's around when I started to notice it, that they have started to just completely ruin their DVD covers. And yes, I'm one of those weirdos that still wants to get DVDs and, you know, appreciates the effort that goes into one, especially like the DVD menus and especially the covers, which is something I want to talk about here. So before, Disney would put these giant covers that would typically have like the ensemble cast. Like, you know, since the movie was technically relying on the characters, they would put the characters in different positions to really illustrate the characters and, you know, what the setting was about, how important the characters are, especially like, I think one I can immediately pull up is Hercules. Hercules had like the main character front and center. Everybody else was there, but you know, front and center Hercules. The Lion King, Simba was the most important character, the main character. So of course, he's gonna take most of the spotlight, his origins, and of course, the rest of the characters. Not everybody, but you know, the most important ones are still there to his journey to self-improvement, to realize that he needs to become king. He needs to fulfill his destiny. Lady and the Tramp. Lady and the Tramp are the main focus, while everybody else on the side are supporting characters. But we still have the setting that like, oh my god, they're falling in love, romantic. And honestly, like one of my favorite ones, or two of them, because I want to show two of them, two more. Up. I have this DVD cover actually. Up had like, oh, and this one's signed by Pete Docter. So anyway, this one has every character being chased by Months, the villain of the story. He is invisible, but everybody else that, you know, actually chases them is there. So we already have the conflict that, oh my god, they're chasing Carl and Russell. Something must be happening here. Even one of the dogs is like right next to our main characters. And of course, you have the house up in the sky. And this is actually the better cover out of the two because the Blu-ray, it was later fixed to the DVD cover, but originally the Blu-ray was very boring. It just had like the promotional art that they featured at movie theaters. It still gets the point across, like they're going up into the sky, you know, floating house, blah 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 blah, still getting chased, but it's not exactly the same. But you really get to appreciate, like, you know, the art that goes into this, like depicting the story and catching the attention of the viewer. You know, how do we communicate what this movie's all about? How do we get the attention of all the viewers? Now they started doing this super ugly just like covers. I've actually started to see it in stores, or I have seen it in stores, but it's the ones that have been featured on YouTube. They initially start with the ensemble cast and, you know, the basic structure that I give you by now, that everybody is important, everybody that's important to the story, and, you know, the setting that it's in and the way that it grabs your attention, everything's front and center, and, you know, it's attention grabbing. It looks nice. The real art went into it. These just have like these paint strokes, a very simple background, and a PNG of the character, and of course the logo. Now apparently I just discovered that these Disney 100 editions of the movies are even more simpler. They don't even have the paint stroke. They just have a silver background, a PNG of the character, and a logo, which may or may not be simplified from the original logo. I don't understand. Like, real art went into these original like DVD covers. It looks nice. It grabs your attention. These just, you don't know what the movie's about if you haven't seen these movies. Take the Lady and the Tramp one. Like, where's Tramp? Who's Tramp? Who's Lady? Is Lady the one on the picture? What is this movie about? Metallic? These are special editions, so technically it doesn't matter, but my main problem is the ones that they use on DVDs with the paint strokes. I hate how they look. Not to say that they haven't done good editions, like it came out like a while ago. They did a re-release of Lady and the Tramp, and they did like it was a collectible, and they still got the point across. Like some of these still did a good job, but especially now they're just being lazy. I can't stand this. And this also goes to other companies. Like the first one I noticed was Puss in Boots. Actually, they put the movie for free on YouTube, and apparently they also switched over to that that, the little logo thing that they have on YouTube still had the original box art with Kitty, Soft Paws, and Puss on the cover with Humpty on the background. And you know, you had San Ricardo. Like, it had everything. It had the focal points of the story. Like, it's gonna be a personal story between Puss in Boots, this other cat, and Humpty Dumpty. But now it's just Puss in the background. Like, now it's just Puss and a very simple background and the logo, which has been simplified too. Oh, this one's actually worse. A slight improvement. At least they included Kitty Soft Paws in the cover now, but it's a render that doesn't even match. It's a frame from the movie, more so, kind of. It's like a render. It's a different render. It doesn't fit here. It wasn't made for a box art. So they just took 2 renders and just put them on a simple green background. They did this with Shrek 2. I've seen it. Like, it's on Amazon. It kind of works for Puss in Boots too, because the focal point of the movie is Perrito, Kitty, and Puss. It's all about them, their personal journey. Obviously, it would be better if they had the box art from that they put on the posters and all the promotional material, where it has like the different settings that they feature in the movie, and it has a lobo on the background. They just kind of lost their personality now. I've seen this on Twitter too, because like the DVD menus were also brought up that they don't put any effort into it. Kind of what one person said, like, they're not gonna put any effort into it if nobody's buying it. As less people buy DVDs and Blu-rays, they're gonna stop putting effort into the DVD menus, and especially the box art. And they don't need to try as hard because everybody's doing streaming. They don't need to call attention. Everybody knows that it's gonna be on streaming. They're gonna choose streaming first, so they just give up on the box art, which is sad because like it's still beautiful, like the stuff they can achieve on box art. You look at video game covers, some of them have incredible, gorgeous art and illustrate like, some of them even go really artsy, like the Final Fantasy ones. It's simple, but it's still artistic. It's still like something. It means something. But they still try because they know like people will still go after physical. But regardless, I think they should still try. There's still people out there that collect DVDs and Blu-ray. It's still important to have good box art to call to people that actually do and appreciate the effort that goes into making DVD covers and Blu-ray. It still matters, especially now more than ever when streaming services just take out movies just randomly. Why don't they?